God wants you to trust in them. And if this message found you, you are likely a part of the group of 144 chosen ones or light workers, earth angels that have very big visions for how you dream about helping the collective. And I got this overwhelming feeling from God, from Spirit, about how in the last, and they kept saying 3 weeks, in the last 3 weeks, you have felt this urge to change your life in some way, um, drastically, whether it's getting rid of everything you own, or the urge to change your mindset, or the urge to travel, the urge to move. And you'll know because it was almost like it came out of nowhere. And that is your guidance, your push on the path of your destiny that Spirit is leading you to. And the message was, everything that you have been through, I'm getting 6 months, 9 months, and some of you even 18, where you were releasing mindsets, healing relationships, learning how to recognize where you had given your power away. All of that was to prepare you for this moment that you don't really see coming, is what I'm hearing. And I'm feeling like a lot of energy in my heart space. It's almost like some of you are quite nervous, very, very nervous to open your energy. And maybe you are receiving it in some way or another, but not to the capacity that, God or Spirit is asking you to open your heart space. And you are about to see why, is what I keep hearing. You're about to see why. You're about to see all of the visions that you have been receiving about your future, and stepping into the spotlight and being amongst a community that's really there to help the world. They're either about to come into your life, or some of you, I'm getting, you've kind of been lingering around the energy for the last, like, I'm getting like maybe a week, and some of you even just 3 days, like recently, like really, really recently. And your guidance is to lean into the moment and allow yourself and your body and your energy to flow through the moments where you might have a freak out about it going so well, or that it feels like it's perfectly made for you. It's inexplicable. It's so divine. Like I'm getting that, like I'm literally hearing some people saying, like, you can't make this shit up. Like you're like trying to explain to someone, or even I'm getting saying to yourself, perhaps in the mirror, like being really excited and looking at yourself like, you can't make this shit up. Like it's almost like whatever Spirit is delivering to you right now, and has been, it's like impossible for you to be unhappy in those moments. And there's also some days, because Spirit's acknowledging that some days when it may not be as obvious as those moments, it doesn't mean that there aren't miracles that are happening around you or about to happen in your life. And so that was also the lesson that you were learning, is what I'm hearing. A little bit of patience, a little bit of trust, a little bit of depth, like swimming deeply. And I'm getting like releasing the rules, like releasing the the rules that you set for yourself in terms of how not so much how you need to show up, but how you needed to um receive like goodness and prosperity and things like that. Like it was almost like you had a very distinct like energetic channel that only allowed you to see blessings in a very narrow way. And it wasn't something that you knew that you were doing, it was something that you were conditioned to do. And so when it comes to your life now being miraculous, you had to expand your view of how things are meant to be, or how they're meant to show up, or what was possible or is possible for you. Um, and it's almost like I think I see a bunch of like people, it's really strange, in like these half coconut shells, but like with a hole in them, like a bunch of people, but like it's like these little safe like spaces, these like life containers almost, um where you were being kept safe, and it didn't feel that way to you. Like it didn't always feel safe, and you had to learn to feel safe in an environment that wasn't exactly aligned with what you had thought you were going to call in. um and spirit is saying that was intentional. That was intentional. um and you know that now, but you didn't know it in the beginning. But it almost feels like on a soul level and deep down, you may have known that, and you're learning that maybe you knew it sooner, like earlier than you thought, but it wasn't coming forward because you weren't able to receive it. Like you weren't able to acknowledge that that's what you needed in this phase of your life. And you had to learn to stop fighting it. And there's this message too around like um spirit and also your ancestors like really wanted to teach you about like elemental healing, working with the elements, working with fire and wind, and earth and water and ether, and also learning how to recognize it. Like it was like you were too busy doing other things that weren't really pertaining to what you were trying to manifest, or where you wanted to go, or how you wanted to help people. And so it was like I'm seeing the I said Avatar, but I'm seeing, what is it, the Last Airbender. Like I'm seeing Aang, and it's like you had to train. Like you had to train, you had to um learn how to recognize how your guides and your ancestors and how the universe worked, so that now you can go out into the world and feel secure in your gifts. Because if spirit would have just sent you out on your way in the beginning of your spiritual awakening or ascension, whatever you want to call it, or even some of you like a kundalini awakening, you wouldn't have been able to handle it. You would have become quite angry. And so you know spirit is aware that you were also, and some of you might still be, that you were also angry when you knew that you had to be in this space. And and now it's it's you're being asked to take a leap of faith towards something you can't see. Like I'm getting a lot of like, you can't see the next step, spirit's not letting you see the next step, ancestors aren't letting you see the next step, but you have a general direction of where you need to go, and that's also intentional. I keep hearing this song. Um, I keep hearing, like Trust Ball Baby by Pink. Um, like you're learning how to trust and fall into this energy and seeing like a somersault. So maybe gymnastics or tumbling or, you know, martial arts or something is important to you. Um, and dance. I'm getting dance. Like I'm seeing like like doing that but on a stage. I don't remember the name of the move, but I see someone doing that from a different perspective. So some of you are probably dancers, but it's it it was designed like this pit, you know. Like I keep getting like biblical things about being in the pit of like what some people would call like a darkness. And you know, some folks like to say like dark night of the soul. That's not my favorite verbiage, to be honest, because um, I don't know, it's never really made sense to me. I don't know why it's never made sense to me. A dark night of the soul, because usually it's more than one, it's more than one night, and it's not necessarily dark, and it's very much so you're healing your soul and your physical body and mind. Like if anything, you're healing more of your body and mind. But I get what people are saying, but I'm just saying, like if that's something that you use, um you know, spirit saying yes, like that's exactly kind of what you went through. And also there is this reminder that it's going to be easier moving forward, but it also doesn't mean that you let go of your dreams and you let go of your hard work, meaning hard work, you're healing and you're following through for yourself and you being consistent with your finances. You learn how to receive love from now the soul tribe that is in your life. You learn how to follow guidance even when you think you don't have it, because I'm getting like some of you thought that you weren't as connected to spirit, but you were so connected, but you had to learn a new language of like unconditional love, or how to recognize the signs in this like incubator. Like I keep getting in an incubator. I see a baby in like a something. um so like maybe like some of you have kids, or it was, you know, that was a moment for you that really opened your eyes. Or maybe that was you, right, in like when you were teeny tiny babies. um but it's like you've faced things that you thought you weren't going to be able to make it out of, but you always made it out and you always will make it out. And that's something that you must remember. And as you, like I keep hearing like as you go, what is that song? And I can't remember what it is, but I just keep hearing steady as you go. um I'm blanking on it, but I can hear just that phrase, like steady as you go. And I'm getting like sailing. So maybe some of you are sailing, or you like the ocean, but it's like you're like spirit sending you out in this energy of like when the tide is low and it's dark, like people aren't seeing you coming. And it's on purpose, and it's to shield you. And it's when the water looks glassy, when it kind of looks like, you know, if you're looking into a flat piece of obsidian for, you know, mirror work or something. um maybe some of you are scryers or something like that. Or maybe you can, maybe you should try it. To help you on your path going forward. Um, but it's almost like you're being set out onto this um, like new beginning, but it's happening at nighttime, and you're being guided by the moon. Like that's why it's so important. Like you just like it's clear skies and there's stars, and the moon is like reflecting onto the water, and that like becomes your light, that becomes guide, that becomes your your compass is what I'm hearing. Like I'm seeing a, what's that movie? Golden Compass? I don't know the name, but I'm seeing that in a snow and a bear. So maybe someone likes that movie. Um, uh, but it becomes your compass on how to move forward, and it's like steady as you go, like you're in a boat, um, and you're not by yourself. Like there's someone in the back protecting you, which is like spirit's energy. And you know, sometimes when you get into like a kayak or a canoe or something, right? Like sometimes it rocks back and forth. And so there's like this energy of like you putting in your bags, and you can't quite see where you're going. Like you're not the one steering from behind. Maybe Italy's important. Italy, Venice. I don't know. Because now I'm seeing, you know, the person in the back with the thingy. Um, you're not the one steering, like you've surrendered to that, but it's almost like I'm getting so many funny visions. Like, nah, I'm getting Lord of the Rings, like this is for some of you who have funnier guides. um you know the scene where the hobbits are like running to where the dock, they have to get on the dock. I think it's like, you know, the ring wraiths or whatever are like chasing them. They like just barely make it. Like they jump their way onto the flat like wooden boat thing. But as I was saying that, I hear like some of you being like, "Ooh, I barely made it," or like, "I don't know, like how I even made it," like that kind of thing. Like a sense of relief, um, or like it could just be how you communicate with your guides, um, which is, it's like a really fun energy. And then there's like the other group of people who are very like um, not grounded, but like more philosophical. Like some of you might be artists or like poets or something, because that's how it feels, like a painting or like a, I don't even know how to explain it, like a Van Gogh, or I don't know, that feeling of like Starry Night kind of vibes, but not as like trippy looking. um, or maybe some of you are photographers. I don't know. There's a lot of you on here. There's a lot of energy on here. Um, but again, there's this like energy of you sailing away and like surrendering to the energy of this new beginning, but using the moon, you know, like when you think of tarot and the moon card, the moon being your intuition, and there's the two um things, creatures, whatever they are, at the bottom, and there's this path right towards the mountain. It's you know, very symbolic of a connection, but a journey, like also a journey to a return, right? And mountains are very connected to the universe. And I just hear Himalayan mountains, like that kind of energy, and being guided by the moon, and having your balance now in your life before you kind of make this journey. That's what it feels like. Um, and so you're like trusting and moving forward. Hopefully that noise isn't too loud. Distractions, literally the energy right now. So many distractions. Maybe you were distracted, or maybe you felt like no matter what you were doing, someone was around trying to distract you. Um, but it's this really cool feeling. Like it's almost like you're, now I'm seeing Twilight. I'm just gonna talk in like, it's gonna be so many, what is it, symbology? I can't think of my words right now, it's too much energy. You know when like Bella is like laying there and she like had her baby and all the things, and like, if this is ruining this for you, tough. um and she's like turning, and then there's that moment where like they zoom in on her eyes, and it's almost like you haven't woken up yet. Not saying you're going to turn into a vampire, but like there's this moment of transition, and right now you're in the sailing into calmer waters like in tarot, but you haven't woken up as your most powerful self yet. Like like you're awakened to it, but it's almost like you're going to embody it the minute the sun comes up. Like that's what it feels like. So now you're like safely being ushered to the other side and you made it out. Your past is behind you and now it's just your future. Um, that is the energy. There's a lot of distractions going on right now. So maybe you've had to like vocalize boundaries in order to get yourself to this place, which is extremely liberating when you're in that phase of your life, and it's the reason why you can move forward into calmer waters for yourself. um but the energy is, it's just so sweet and so gentle, and um it has this like lullaby kind of sound to it. So maybe some of you are like wanting to have children, or maybe you could have ancestors also, I'm getting around you, that were around you when you were younger. Like they would have been like closer to you, like grandmothers or aunties or cousins. I'm getting some of you might have had like past sisters or something like that, where they have this protective energy and it's very mothering. Like I can hear singing. So maybe you've been hearing that, or you've been feeling the call to sing, because again, there's that energy of singing and the ocean and sirens, and having the ability to also heal people with the way you speak, or the voice, or your voice, the voice. Maybe you're going to be on the show The Voice. You never know. Everything happens for a reason. I consider channeling sometimes like word vomit, and you just see what kind of comes out. But yeah, it's just like a really fun energy. But I feel like what is the coolest is that you don't know what you're about to do. Like you don't know what you're about to do, but it feels like good energy, and your ancestors are smiling and they're like, they have no idea. They have no idea. And your ancestors are proud of you, of just moving forward without having that full plan, but all you knew was that you needed to heal, and you needed to understand money, and you needed to do business things. You needed to let go of people. You needed to put yourself out there again. Like you were doing everything that they told you to do. um and you did it all. Is what I'm hearing. You did it all. And I'm seeing Mario brother, like the mushroom, like a level up, level up, level up, what is that song? Is it called Level Up? See era. I'm hearing the randomest things today. um Also another distraction. um but yeah, I'm also hearing some laughing, like birthday songs. So maybe your birthday's coming, or you had past loved ones who are actually around you whose birthday is near. There's like that feeling of that. So that's probably confirmation for some of you. But yeah, spirit just wants to say, like, get ready and keep sailing, and know that everything is just as it should be. um I'm hearing tale as old as time. I'm hearing a lot of things today. um it's almost like when someone turns the dial on a radio, it's like like, and then something else, and then just like la la la. I'm like, this is quite the cosmic movie you are showing me here. Is this why you wanted me to do it at nighttime? um but yeah, and you don't have to fear the nighttime. I'm getting some of you fear the nighttime, or like going to sleep, or like spirits. Don't worry about it, you'll be fine. But it's definitely a feeling of get ready to use all the gifts that you've been chosen to use, because it's time. um and with every shocking moment is a really wonderful surprise. That's all I heard. But yeah, that is everything. And I just want to send you all lots of love. And thanks to everyone who's been watching the blocks season 16 that I was on. And if you are wanting to learn how to develop your clairs or do your healing or have questions about anything, um, do come to Z School for the Gifted. I have another session this week on Friday, and then classes are paused until mid-April. So now is the perfect time for you to actually show up and be there. And it's also a good time to be manifesting things for yourself, especially with this momentum of movement and moving forward. So if you need the extra support of like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I don't really know what, why am I getting all this information? Like, how am I supposed to do X, Y, and Z? That is the perfect place to be able to do that. Literally. My huskies right now. Oh, you're woo. Um, but that is a perfect place for you to ask those questions. I also will channel any information that needs to be shared with you if it comes. So if your guides need to share something, it will likely come up. If they don't want to share anything, then I won't share anything. Most of the time, they do share something, or I will actively be looking into your, daily habits, depending on what you ask. So I'll be able to see the things that you do and what you don't do to help you on your spiritual journey. So like, know that it's a very open space for you to come ask questions, do whatever you need to do. I'll also, if you have like candle workings and stuff like that, or you want to know about ancestors or know how to build an altar, or ask questions about food. Like today we talked a lot about food and dreams and astral work and protection and spell work and ancestor books. That again is a place to do that. So that's the School for the Gifted. So the link is going to be below. And I really hope to see you all there. And memberships are officially open as well for the YouTube channel. So I'm going to be cranking out some videos. A lot of the videos for memberships are also going to be heavily into advanced magic and techniques and spirituality and manifestation. So know that if you would like to dive deeper into concepts beyond the School for the Gifted, there is also that. And if you want to go even further, like I have some folks who are stepping into the spotlight as models and actors and things like that, and healers as well, you can apply for More Than Worthy. It's a one-to-one journey for generational healing, activism, and empowerment. So that is also available to you, and the link is in the description. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along. And I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, and I will talk to you all soon.